Good afternoon from AxiomSpace Mission Control in Houston, Texas. I'm Sonia Gavan-Carmacay. Today is flight day 4 for the Ax-2 crew currently on orbit, and this is their second full day on board the International Space Station. Axiom Mission 2 is the second in a series of flights that allows us to enable access to low Earth orbit for commercial entities and sovereign nations around the world. The crew for this mission is led by Commander Peggy Whitson. She's joined by pilot John Schaffner and Saudi national astronauts Ali Al-Karni and Rayana Barnawi. Today, the Ax-2 crew executed their first full day of science operations and student outreach. As a research scientist, Rayana had her first opportunities to use the life sciences glove box to perform the DNA nanotherapeutics mixing operations. Ali and Rayana together performed a test run of the Nanorex Space Kite payload. Using an advanced microscope called Kermit, Peggy and John worked on their stellar stem cells operations. Peggy also started her cancer in low Earth orbit research support. John had a busy day today. He performed his initial round of MIT skin suit experiments and had a live conversation with students from the Oporto British School and the Rathmore National School in Ireland. In fact, we'd like to share some highlights of that with you now.
What it's like up there for you.
Sure. Well, you know, I can answer that in any order, but I'm always going to come up with the word fantastic and awesome and unbelievable, right? I grew up wanting to be an astronaut. I was in love with the space race the moment it started. Now that I'm here, it's an awesome experience. I'm here with a fabulous crew, enjoying a fabulous week of space science, STEM education outreach, going around the Earth 16 times a day. It's a busy week in space.
How does this mission compare to your previous adventures and achievements such as skydives, base jumps, car racing, and cycling across America?
Wow, thank you, Sean. Nice to talk to you. That's a good question, but so easily answered, I would think. This tops everything. I'm in space. I'm flying 17,500 miles an hour, going around the Earth every 90 minutes. I see a new sunrise and sunset every 45 minutes. I can float anywhere I want to go. I'd show you right now, except it's a very tight area. I'll knock something off the wall. The commander won't like that.
What does it feel like to wake up in the morning on the ISS, look out from the window and look down on the planet Earth?
Hi, Emily. Well, I'll tell you a funny story. My first night in space, 2 nights ago, I went to sleep in one position like this in my sleeping bag, and I tied it to a couple of things to keep me in one spot. But I woke up like this in a different place. And it took me a minute to figure out where I actually was. When I floated over to the window, which is I sleep near a window, and looked out, I saw the beautiful blue Earth and the clouds. I knew where I was, of course. But it was, I sleep well here. There's no aches or pains. You just lay flat in any position you want and sleep. I can show you a little bit right here. I can go side. Can you see me still? Like,
Yeah, yes, we can.
I can sleep like that if I wanted to, but no. I hope that answered your question, Emily.
So we're extremely grateful and honored that you have made this time available to us today. And I suppose the children are all here now, and John can't see us, but he could hear us. So we're going to give you, what we say, a bula bus, Australia here in our language. A big clap for
Thank you.
I know you have some days left up in the space station. I want to wish you every success with the mission and a safe return to Earth.
I'm here with Chief Revenue Officer Tejpaul Bhatia. We were together at the launch. It was an incredible moment that really signified the opportunities for not only private astronauts but governments to achieve their goals in low Earth orbit. What was it like for you to be up there with our customers? What were they experiencing?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you, Sonia. It was awesome. And it was awesome to see you experience your first launch. A launch is a very special, emotional, and personal feeling. For me, it was really nice to see our Saudi partners it's experiencing this launch for the first time, seeing their team go up to space and then feeling that national pride and seeing that emotion overcome them. And the common theme I heard from our friends was that this was the beginning of the beginning.
That's really powerful. What about the research that the Saudis are doing? They are doing some really important research in cancer and stem cell research. Why is that the research that they are choosing to go up there with, and what does it signify for them and their priorities?
Yeah, I mean, the key significance is they got to tailor their mission and their research program to the Saudi Arabian priorities. And that shows a change in history where that type of opportunity was only available to a few nations of the world. And this shows that together through this partnership, we can enable countries to have access to low Earth orbit and microgravity in a way that wasn't possible before.
And AxiomSpace allows that opportunity to low Earth orbit and to microgravity and to all of the research and opportunities that are there. And the Access program is something new for us. Can you tell me more about that?
Sure. We recently announced the AxiomSpace Access program. And our fundamental belief is that space must be accessible to all nations of the world. And a private company, a venture-backed company like AxiomSpace, can make that happen through our relationship with NASA and the International Space Station, but the fact that we are a private investor-backed company investing in our own infrastructure to enable access to space. So the AxiomSpace Access program is a tiered membership program. It's a fundamental shift, a paradigm shift on how the business of space is done. And it allows all nations to be able to access the International Space Station today, Axiom Station tomorrow, and beyond after that.
What kind of opportunities is the Access program enabling for governments?
So the AxiomSpace Access program has 4 tiers. And the entry tier is allowing new space programs to start developing their strategy, get advisory service, insights and access, and technology that goes into building a space program. The second tier is along the research layer, which is the equivalent of a company having its own national lab.
Oh, okay.
Something that would take decades and billions of dollars for a country to develop, we can offer immediately to nations. The third tier is human spaceflight. This is what we've done with the Saudi Arabian government and many other governments moving forward. And the fourth tier is shared infrastructure and co-development of the station itself. Again, all things that wouldn't have even been feasible just 5 years ago are now possible for all countries to participate in.
Thanks, Tej.
Thank you.
If you want to fly to space, or if your organization wants to conduct research and manufacturing efforts in microgravity, we have the experts who can help you develop your program. With that, let's turn our attention to the flight days ahead for the Ax-2 crew. Tomorrow, the Ax-2 crew continues work on a range of science and research, including a NanoRex experiment focused on cloud seeding in microgravity, a process designed to artificially generate rain. They will participate in an ISS handpass that will connect students on Earth with the crew on board through amateur radio. The Ax-2 crew will also talk with students live at Space Center Houston to educate them about how astronauts live and work on the orbiting laboratory. As with everything in space, things are subject to change. This brings us to the end of Flight Day 4. I'm Sonia Gavan-Carmacay. For updates throughout the mission and all things Axiom Space and Ax-2, please visit us at axiomspace.com. We'll see you again tomorrow.